Hello everybody, I am back for episode 13 of Earthling Elaborates. This is also my first video of the new year, so I'm happy to be here. I hope that you all have had a wonderful start to this new year. If you're new here, my name is Emily. I go by the artist name Earthling Emily. My main medium is acrylic painting. However, I also dabble in other things such as digital art. I do fabric paint on clothing. I draw, sketch, all the artsy things, but mainly I'm a painter. And these videos, Earthling Elaborates, are videos that I do every other Sunday, where I typically start with an oracle reading, which I am going to do in this video. This is the deck of cards that I use. And I talk about any updates that I have as far as events that I have going on. I will do polls on my social media pages to get any questions that you guys have or any subject recommendations to go over in these videos as well. But overall, the main purpose of these videos is for me to be able to connect with you guys, give you updates on what's going on, and just kind of channel whatever messages come through. So I'm going to go ahead and start shuffling these oracle cards while I kind of update you guys on what's going on with me. I took a bit of a break in December and like the beginning of this month of January, just to kind of relax and regain some of my footing. I was really busy for the last portion of the year, and I really wanted to just have some time for relaxation and resetting and recharging my energy. So I haven't really been doing all that much. I've definitely been painting though. I do have like a couple different pieces that I've done the past couple weeks. Just like super fluid pieces that are just like channeling out. They're really, really cool and special, and I'm really excited to share them. As far as events for the future, I have one event planned for this month. It is the Fairy Fair at the Potentialist Workshop here in Reno, Nevada, which is where I am located. If you're local, then you absolutely should check out the flyer. I posted it on my Instagram, and it'll give you some more details on the event. I also dropped off some paintings at the Maker's Paradise in Reno as well. It's in the Reno Public Market, and they're doing a nature/seasons themed gallery show. So I dropped off pieces for that, and they're gonna be set up there until I think the 10th of February. So there's plenty of time to go check those out if you're interested in seeing them or potentially buying some art. The walls in there are absolutely filled with art, so there's way more to look at than just mine. So I highly suggest checking it out. If you are not local to Reno, I'm going to be working on dropping some new items towards the end of January or beginning of February in the shop. My online shop is linked in my bio on my YouTube channel, and you can also find links to my other social media on there, as well as some information about me and the products that I sell. So definitely check that out. But yeah, I'm really excited. I really want to do some Valentine's themed, like, clothing items, and paintings and prints and whatnot. I'm thinking it would be really cool to do some Valentine's themed like cards with my art on them. So I'm going to put in some feelers for making that happen. I also just got accepted for a gallery show in February. It is themed after the tarot card, the Rider-Waite tarot card deck, like the original tarot. Everybody gets a card from the deck, and you make a painting based on that card and the meaning of it. So I just got the email today that I'm confirmed for that project, and I'm really excited. I have my card, and I'm not going to share too much else on that yet because I want to share more as it comes into fruition, but I'm very, very excited about this. Let's see if there's anything else that comes to mind. I'm working on some digital artwork right now for a friend of mine. She's a DJ, and I'm doing some logo / visual work for her, which is really exciting. I think that my painting and my clothing takes a really big role in my presence on social media and stuff, and just my life, to where sometimes people forget that I do digital work as well, and it's something that is just a good asset for me to do. So I'm really looking to take on more digital projects this year, as far as like cover art for songs or album art or flyers for events, logos, all kinds of stuff like that. I'm really interested in doing more projects like that. I think I need more experience under my belt. Also, I am definitely going to make this I'm going to make an official announcement post, but my YouTube following is pretty small. I don't really get that many views on here, so I guess I will share something really exciting that I've been keeping kind of like a secret for the past month, and that is that I have all of the materials to start my journey tattooing. I bought a tattoo gun. It's really, really nice. It's one of the lightweight pen machines. I have ink, I have cartridges, I have all of the things that I need except for fake skin. So I'm gonna get some fake skin and start practicing. I have done tattoos on myself in the past, but they were not at all in a professional sense. And I did not have the ability to use like a really nice gun like what I have now. So I just decided that it would be a good thing for me, because being a full-time artist is hard sometimes, and I have learned from my personal journey that it is a lot better to offer multiple services opposed to if I were to just be painting and doing nothing else, I would not be making as much money as I'm making now, because I do clothing, I have prints, I live paint, I am a part of galleries, there's just other, in digital work, there's other aspects of the ways that I make my finances work being an artist, and I still have some gaps that I want to fill, and so I just really feel like tattooing would fill those financial gaps for me while still fulfilling my need to do art all the time. I have been told many times that my art style could be tattooed, and that my drawings would make beautiful tattoos. So I already have an interested clientele, and I think that the process of tattooing is a ritual I think that it is very, very potent in ways of alchemy and manifestation and self-love and confidence. Like, I just think that tattoos really are magic and so meaningful, and so it really feels special to be able to become a part of that world. I have like quite a few tattoos. This is the one you guys probably see the most, at least, you know, recently too, during the winter when I have a lot of my tattoos covered up. But I just am really, really excited, and I haven't been rushing anything with it. You know, like, I've had all of my materials for like a month or so now, and I haven't done anything with them, and I haven't really told very many people because, you know, for one, I don't have fake skin yet, and that's what I need to do, is to practice, because I already have like a portfolio of, you know, I have so much art I could tattoo, but what I need is the practice. But anyway, I want to take my time with it, and I really want to become integrated in a very meaningful and intentional way. And I also want to find people who are really aligned with my energy and like the type of energy that I want to bring. You know, I want to find people who inspire me, to teach me and hopefully take me under their wing. You know, there's so many tattoo shops around me, but I know that there are probably only like one or two that would really like be a good place for me as far as like, you know, alignment of energy and intention. So I'm just taking my time with it, you know, so that I can just really like end up being put in a position that I really, really love and enjoy. So stay tuned for my journey with that. And once again, I am going to be making more of an official announcement for this, like on my social media, when I'm a little bit more developed in it. But we are such a tight-knit little group here on YouTube that I totally feel excited and trusting of telling you guys about this. So yeah, those are pretty much all the updates that I have at the moment. I do have an event planned for February, but I think I'm just gonna wait and kind of let this video settle and these events and things I have going on settle, and I will tell you guys about further events closer to February. We're still, you know, decently fresh in this month of January, and I definitely am feeling the pull towards making changes and clearing out old energy and doing those like New Year's type of things, but I'm not really diving too deeply into that yet, because of the fact that it's freaking freezing. It's still the winter season, and I am still in hibernation mode, and I'm not gonna force myself out of the natural seasons and cycles of the earth just because, you know, society decided that it's a new year and that you should like start over during this time. It just, you know, I'm definitely waiting for springtime to like really step into some new things. However, I definitely am feeling that, like, I'm still feeling that shedding period, like, of, you know, the season of the snake, which we're technically still in. You know, I'm definitely feeling this shedding of layers. I've already started implementing some new routines and habits. I'm not like being extremely strict about them, but I'm doing it out of like a sense of enjoyment and love for myself, and I think that that makes it a lot easier for me to want to continue to do things like stretching, exercising, you know, eating healthy and stuff like that. So I'm definitely stepping into some new realms of self-care and building my confidence and opening up myself to new opportunities and all that. But I am definitely still in a time period where I know that it's vital for me to, you know, continue to rest and not rush myself out of the winter season just because it's New Year's. So yeah, I'm curious how the new year has been for you thus far. If you'd like to leave a comment just letting me know how you're doing, how the new year has been treating you, if there's any specific energies that you have felt, or any energies that you feel are like releasing. I'm super curious about your experience with that. And if you happen to have watched my previous episode of Earthling Elaborates, that was before the new year, and I had done a New Year's themed oracle reading for that video. And if you did watch that video, I'm curious as to how that reading has sat with you over these past 2 weeks. But yeah, I think that I'm just about ready to dive into today's oracle reading. So I'm just going to leave the cards kind of close to the camera so you can just, you know, look at them, resonate with them, set your intentions. If there's anything specific that you're looking for guidance on, any questions that you have, or if you want to just open it up to whatever feels right. Just set your intentions, connect with the cards. I'm going to take some drinks of water and also set my intentions. If you feel called to take any intentional breaths, like I am now, feel free to go at your own pace, going in through the nose and out through the mouth. And if you're feeling a little frisky, you can hold it in for a couple seconds and then release, and that really like just hits so good. But yeah, no pressure at all. Just do whatever you feel necessary to set into this space. Set the intention of, you know, aligning ourselves with divine and with the universe, with God, whatever you believe in as your higher power, whatever brings you into that space of higher consciousness and opening yourself up to wisdom, spiritual insights. I think for today's reading in specific, I want to set the intention, obviously, for the collective. This is not just for me, it is for you as well. I also want to set the intention of anything that divine feels necessary to tell us during this remaining time of the remaining is not a word. I don't think it is, at least. But any guidance or, you know, just anything that divine wants us to know regarding the remaining period of this winter equinox that we're in. The winter time is such a deep, reflective, internal time period, and it can bring out a lot of different feelings, and depending on how we deal with it, it can leave us feeling very tired, very exhausted, very like in awe, very sad, very, you know, there's so many different ways that we all process things. And if you have like seasonal depression, you know, the winter time can be particularly hard. So I want to just open up the question of what advice do we need to know with these couple months remaining of winter time before the spring equinox. what is important for us during these times. There's also so much going on in the world right now, and it can be extremely overwhelming and extremely frustrating and hurtful to be seeing all of the ways that people in power in this country and in the world are deciding to, you know, go about things. And so I want to open up the question as well as to what would be the best for us to do in these times of feeling rather not in control, possibly feeling, you know, the angst, the anxiety, the frustration of all of these things happening. What should we focus on? What should we be remembering? What is important presently? So yeah, let's go ahead and shuffle a couple more times. During these shuffles, I'm going to break the deck as well. I wasn't really doing that last time. Got this little candle lit over here next to Mr. Bobby McGee Jr. It is so beautiful. I got it as a Christmas present, and it is just gorgeous, and it smells amazing. And it's got, I don't think you'll be able to see it, but it's got a quartz crystal as well as an amethyst crystal in the wax of the candle, which is really, really cool. So, anywho, feel we're getting closer to being ready. Just getting the cards aligned and shuffling them until I can feel that. So I think one more shuffle and we'll be good to go. All right, let's see what comes up. Ooh, that was about to be a lot of cards. Hopefully, I'm not sure how to go about that. I think I'm gonna put them back in. Yeah, that's way too many cards. All right. Just asking for one at a time, please. What does the collective need to know presently in this moment? What can we carry with us throughout the rest of the winter season? This is taking significantly longer than usual, but that's okay. Patience is key, and we're not in a rush. Oh. Two cards came out originally and then a bunch more, so we're gonna keep these two cards. We're gonna see if there's any other messages that want to come through for this reading. Alright, we got another one. And I'm gonna open this up for just any last messages that want to come through. Two more. Okay. That's a lot of cards. All right, let's see what we're working with here. Okay. So, our first card that we got today is the Sensuality card. It says, Being a sensual person means you have a heightened sense of awareness for touch, smell, taste, hearing, and feelings. Sensuality plays a big part in your sex life and your overall ability to derive pleasure from life. You like to take advantage of what life has to offer and live with love and passion. You are also eager to experiment in life. You can make great discoveries of mind, body, and spirit, fulfilling your desires and enjoying the ultimate contact with another. Sensuality embodies all the qualities of self-awareness, including your uniqueness and authenticity within your own comfort zone. Express your sexuality in your own way or rediscover your own vitality. The mantra is, I live life to the fullest with passion and love. I love the imagery on this card. It is so beautiful. You can see that we have representation of a more mature looking woman, as well as representation of more of the child self. And I think both are just as relevant when talking about sensuality. The next card that we have is the Unicorn card. This says, mysterious, playful, and pure, the unicorn is universally beautiful, mysterious, and difficult to capture or tame. It is fierce and protective, yet admirable. The unicorn is the symbol of serendipity, the occurrence of events by chance in a happy or beneficial way. This card represents good luck in making unexpected and favorable discoveries. Expect magic to happen. Luck is on your side. And the mantra is, I accept and invite serendipity into my life. If anybody knows what this... Oh, I thought it was a constellation, but it might just be some detailing. But if it is a constellation and you know what it is, then let me know. It looks like she's wearing the Virgo symbol on her neck, which resonates with me for sure. I'm a Virgo. Okay, the next card is the Dragonfly card. The dragonfly lives near water and represents the ability to be emotionally strong and flexible. It is one of the only creatures that can fly up, down, sideways, and backwards. Living your truest life is a responsibility. Do not let it be trivialized or lived superficially. The dragonfly is a symbol of knowing who you are and what you want. Make informed decisions and live life to the fullest without regrets. And the mantra is, I am emotionally strong and live my life without regrets. Very magical. I love how the dragonfly really is like a little dragon. Alright, the next two cards, the last ones that kind of just popped out right before I ended the pulling of cards, definitely feel aligned with what I was talking about as far as winter being, bringing some emotional kind of like vibes, maybe some sadness, maybe some seasonal depression, because we got the Cheer Up card. This just like reminds me of winter in general. It says, don't dwell on the past as it cannot be changed. Why obsess about the future if things beyond your control can happen at any time? Become childlike again, as yesterday never mattered and tomorrow is another day. Do something spontaneous. Stop and smell the roses, bake a cake, or sit and watch the people walking by. Just live in the moment and enjoy what you are doing. Allow the universe and your angels to assist you effortlessly at this time. Listen to the angels sing, be still, and just go with the flow. If you are feeling exhausted or disheartened, just rest and do nothing. Nurture yourself to re-energize for tomorrow. Do what you need to cheer up. And the mantra is, I live for today and I feel cheerful. I want to repeat these lines because I feel like they're really important. It says, if you are feeling exhausted or disheartened, just rest and do nothing. Nurture yourself to re-energize for tomorrow. Do what you need to do to cheer up. I think that that is super relevant because I feel like in most societal paradigms these days, there is this really overwhelming push to be productive all the time. And I think that it's important to go back to more original ways of thinking and living, in the sense of going with the seasons. And wintertime is known to be a season of rest. It's known to be a season of relaxation, hibernation, nurturing your body and your mind, you know? So definitely feels on par, because the last card that we got that came out with the cheer up card is the Battle of the Blues card. It says, when you have sad feelings of gloom and inadequacy, you need to recognize this as a temporary situation. Feelings of sadness and negative thoughts can immobilize you, and only you can change this. Perhaps it is a wake-up call to get into action and make changes. Take small steps and keep moving every day to bring positive change and self-empowerment. Exercise, study, socialize with like-minded people, listen to music, and talk about your feelings with trusted friends and family, knowing that the magic of the universe and the angels are there to support and guide you. Gather your courage and rise to meet your challenges. And the mantra is, I take small steps every day to make positive changes in my life for happiness and fulfillment. And I think an important note that stood out to me on that card is in the mantra portion, when it says, I take small steps every day to make positive changes in my life for happiness and fulfillment. To make positive changes in my life for happiness and fulfillment. I think sometimes we also feel this need to make changes, especially during this like New Year time. We feel this need to make changes based on what we think we should be, or what we think we should be doing, or maybe what we're being influenced to think we should be doing, when in reality, the reason that you should be making changes and the reason that you should be pushing to do certain things is for your happiness and your fulfillment. And that looks completely different to every individual person. So remembering that as we, decide what kind of resolutions we're going to have, or, our plans for the future, our plans for this year. I'm getting a sense of inviting the magic in, just like the unicorn card is saying, but I'm feeling it more on an internal level because of this sensuality card, and the dragonfly card of live life to the fullest. I think that once again, during these more introverted, internal, hibernative periods of time, it's a really great time to get to know ourselves better and to shed the layers of self that we have added on through previous times, like last year, being able to sit with yourself in the darkness of winter, a winter night or whatever, and just being able to kind of like sift through some, aspects of yourself, and, discovering sensualities, like just really being there for yourself and being able to like feel into deeper layers of your being and your soul. I think that by doing that, we naturally are going to be inviting in more magic and aligning deeper with our purpose as people and as humans. I think that sensuality is a great word because it stands for the sensualness that comes from like energy and just experiencing things really presently and fully, and it also has to do with sexuality, and, you know, things of that nature. And I think that it's this like beautiful duality of sensuality, and it's really important to dabble in both sides, you know, because sensuality doesn't inherently mean sexual. Sensuality can be projected into absolutely anything that you do. You know, you can sensually make a meal for yourself, you can sensually paint something, you can sensually take a shower, you know, like just being more present and taking more moments to tap in with your body and what feels good and what, you know, brings you pleasure. I think that that's really important right now, and doing things that bring you pleasure like that can also be another aspect of cheering up and fighting off these feelings of disconnectedness and inadequacy and sadness. So there, you know, just a reminder to you that there's so much magic. There is so much magic out there. Just because the world might seem bleak and cold and monotonous, I don't know how to say that word, monotonous, I don't know, but even though it can be like that at times, don't forget that there is so much magic within you, within the world around you, within nature, within your friends and family. There is so much magic, and you can invite even more in. You know, the more that you give gratefulness and acknowledgement to these magical, amazing, beautiful things, the more that you're going to receive. And yeah, I mean, we got this little balance going on in these cards. We have 2 cards that are more towards inviting in magic, having blessings and serendipity and more like positive, beautiful things. And then we have more of the like sadness and more of the cold blue, you know, like feelings. But the cool thing is that we have one of each. We have 2 of each. You know, we have a balancing scale right here. So just remembering that one of these cards had talked about knowing that these feelings of sadness and, you know, whatever else, that they are temporary. And I always tell people that when, you know, maybe they're going through a hard time or there's a specific situation that's really getting them down, I always remind them that, hey, just remember that this pain that you're feeling, this sadness, it's not going to last forever. It is important to be present for it and acknowledge it and not avoid it, but it is just as truthful that it is temporary and it will not last forever. So yeah, it seems like this reading wants to remind us of balance. I've been around my little brothers for too long, and now doing that made, if you know, you know, made a meme trigger in my head. Not happy about it. Anyway, I think that there's this balancing act right now of being able to be positive and being able to be negative. And I think that a really great way to kind of bridge that gap is to really tap into our sensuality and either, you know, discover what things bring us pleasure, or, you know, rediscover and just reintegrate things that we know, you know, bring us happiness and fulfillment and pleasure. And just romanticizing life. I feel like this card kind of gives off that vibe of romanticizing life, you know, making a cup of tea in the morning. It doesn't have to just be making a cup of tea in the morning, you know, it can be a ritual that, you know, you put intention into of like caring for yourself and warming up your life and, you know, bringing yourself joy and health and happiness. Little things like that here and there I think are really, really vital right now to the overall well-being of our mind and our spirits. So yes, I would love to know if this reading resonates with you in any way, if there's any specific imagery or anything that really stood out to you. If you would like me to send you a photo of the cards laid out so you can look back on it throughout the week or next 2 weeks or whatever, feel free to message me and I will do that for you. I will be back not next Sunday, but the Sunday after for another episode of Earthling Elaborates. Once again, the link to my website is in my bio. You can find all of my other social media tags on there, and, you know, links to them. I don't know why I said tags, but and you can also see all of the products that I have for sale. I am constantly dropping new items in the shop, so yeah, I hope that you enjoyed this. Once again, I hope that you're taking care. I hope that you're staying warm. I am so freezing. It's so cold in my house. It's like 18 degrees outside. But anywho, take care and I will see you next time. Bye.